Hi, everybody. My name's Carmen Champion, and I own Main Street Yoga in downtown Bloomington. I am putting this video together for the McLean County History Museum, their day camp. And what we're going to be talking about today is structures of the body, taking you through a little bit of breathing exercises and a little bit of movement. So join me, and I hope you enjoy. So I'm going to come back to my mat so you can see for the body. In yoga, what we work with a lot of the time is working with the breath. And if you've ever been really upset, sometimes people say, go ahead and take a deep breath in. And you take the deep breath in and you let it go. And oddly, sometimes it does help make you feel better. But there is a component in the body that we're working with when we ask you to take a deep breath that does actually help you relax. The other element of that is when you take a deep breath in the body, you're not stifling the breath and just breathing into the lungs. So our lung, you are breathing into the lungs, but you're using more musculature than that. So as you take a deep breath in, our container, our body was designed to utilize more muscles than just the lungs for us to breathe. And actually your abdomen has a large role in your breathing. If you were to watch a baby, a baby's got that round belly, and when babies breathe, they breathe all the way into their belly, and their belly gets nice and round, and when they exhale, their belly softens. And so just for a moment, go ahead and take your hands to your belly, and as you breathe, notice if your hands move on your belly. And if they don't at first, can you take a few more breaths and see if the hands do begin to move? So that as you take a deep breath in, the belly expands in your hand. And as you exhale, the belly softens. Why is that? Why does our belly help us breathe? We don't actually breathe into our belly. We're not breathing into our stomach. You have structures in your body that work together. And so when you pull breath all the way into your lungs are surrounded by your rib cage, and your rib cage holds it all together. But even your rib cage moves and expands and contracts. So go ahead and take your hands to the sides of the ribs as best you're able. Even if it's easier to bring the backs of the hands to the ribs, that's okay. But how can you bring your hands to your ribs? And as you breathe, do you notice, take a deep breath in and release, do you notice that your ribs move under your hands? And this structure, this framework, helps protect the organs in the body, helps hold up your head, helps create your shoulders, and helps support the breathing of our body. So when you breathe and you take a deep breath all the way in, you breathe into the lungs expand. But because our body is mostly water, we're moving the water around the body. And so when the lungs expand, there needs to be room for the air. And so some of our organs and our muscles shift. And one of the primary muscles that helps us breathe lives right here just below the ribs, at the bottom of the ribs, called the diaphragm. And the diaphragm is much like the dome of the history building, that beautiful stained glass dome. And it lives here just under your ribs. And so when you breathe, your diaphragm pushes down and it pushes on the organs of the belly, and then the organs push out, which is why your belly needs to push out to create room. And so then when you exhale, your abdominal muscles hug in, your diaphragm lifts and pushes the air out of the lungs for you to exhale. So that when you inhale into your lungs, the rib cage expands, the diaphragm pushes down, the belly pushes out. And when you exhale, the muscles of the abdomen pull in, the diaphragm lifts and squeezes the air out of the lungs. And so if you've ever seen a bellows is this piece of equipment that they used to fan air into a fire to make the fire bigger in the fireplace. It's very much like that. There's a system that we have going on inside to help us breathe. In our society, we have this energy around sucking in the belly a lot. And what that does is that takes away the ability to breathe fully. And so our breath gets stuck in the chest. So go ahead, take one hand, put it over your belly button, and suck in your belly. And hold that there, and then try to take a deep breath in without letting your belly move. You don't breathe very much. You can't get very far with that breath. Now go ahead and relax the belly. Let the belly be soft. When you're ready, take a deep breath in. And notice that when you allow your body to move, you can take a more full and complete breath. And that full and complete breath actually helps our mental capabilities. It helps us relax. It helps calm us down. Which is why sometimes when they say, take a deep breath, they're actually inviting you to calm down a little bit, to relax. And that's part of what makes yoga very strong and very helpful in the body. It's not all about stretching and moving. We want to incorporate the breath in a really profound way. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to move into the first breath. And the first breath that we're going to do today is called Dirga Pranayama. Pranayama just means breathing, and Dirga is Sanskrit for deep. And so I'm going to invite you to take your hand over your belly button and the other hand over your heart. And these are two separate structures. You have the soft structure of the belly, and then you've got the reinforced structure of the rib cage. And when you're ready to inhale, can you inhale into your belly first and into your rib cage second? And then when you're ready to exhale, exhale from the rib cage, exhale from the belly, soften the belly. Inhale when you're ready, inhale into the belly, and then lift the breath into the rib cage. Exhale, exhale. So you're inhaling in two parts, inhaling half the breath into the belly, half the breath into the chest. Exhale from the chest, exhale from the belly. Try this a couple more times at your own pace. Just notice. Notice what you feel. Notice if the breath has any sounding movement or sound. Notice if you're scowling as you do this. Are you very concentrated on your breath? How can you keep it soft and easy? Nice. All right. With your next exhalation, allow the hands to come down to your knees. And you're going to use your knees and your legs to help you balance. So again, we've got this structure. How difficult is it to sit cross-legged on the floor? Do you notice that you don't tend to teeter very often? You've created this foundation through your legs and in your pelvis to help anchor you to the ground so that you're not so easy to tip over. And so what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you take your hands to your knees, and you're going to start to roll or rotate your torso around in circles. And you can make those circles as big or as small as you choose. And you might even notice how breathing impacts. So when you bring your torso forward, how easy is it to breathe all the way into the belly? It's probably not very easy. So what if you took a deep breath in here when you're upright, and then when you're ready to exhale, you exhale forward fold. And just try this a couple more times, and then we're going to switch directions. So how can you switch directions and circle your ribs and your torso the other way? Notice how that feels in your body. Notice how you breathe. And notice how you don't have to change the foundation of the legs very much in order for you to move your torso around. It doesn't take a lot of work. With your next inhalation, can you go ahead and pull your ribs back up over your pelvis, sitting up straight, coming back to your natural seated position. And this time you're going to take your hands down by your side. This time you're going to walk one hand over to one side, and you're going to bring the other arm up and reach, and then you're going to bring that arm down, and you're going to walk that hand over and reach to the other side. And we're just going to go ahead and move from side to side. Try to keep the legs and the bones in the bottom of the pelvis, the bottom of the buttocks. How can you keep those on the ground without tipping over to one side? How can you maintain that strong foundation in the lower half of the body? And notice as you go over to one side, you're going to maintain the structure in the neck. So you're not going to drop the head. You're going to let the head stay between the shoulders so the neck is strong. All right. We're going to do one more side. And then the next time that you come back to center, you're going to take your arm down and you're going to take your legs and reach them out in front of you. And go ahead and just thunk them on the ground. They've been crossed for a little while, so how can you just bring some energy back into the legs? Thunk them on the ground. See if this makes any noise. It doesn't really make much noise. So maybe you windshield wipe your feet or shake out your legs in another way, letting the legs just be a little silly, having a little bit of movement. And then with your next inhalation, go ahead and fan out your toes and see if you can create spaces between each individual toe. Let the air pass and then relax the toes. And then with your next inhalation, can you fan out your toes again, letting them spread like fingers, and then release. And then maybe just wiggle the toes. All right, for this next piece, you're going to go ahead and take the bottoms of the feet, and you're going to bring the bottoms of the feet together, almost like two hands in prayer position. The knees are going to come out to the side. You're going to round your spine so that you can bring your hands to your feet or your ankles, and you're going to flutter your knees, like butterfly. You might have even done this in PE class. Try to keep the movement as fluid as possible so that it doesn't stop. And notice if you started to hold your breath. Can you breathe and flutter your knees at the same time? With your next exhalation, go ahead and let your knees soften down. And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to make your way into hands and knees in table position. So we call this tabletop or table position. You're going to be on your hands and knees, your hands a little wider than your shoulders, your knees just below your hips. And we're going to do something called cat-cow, so that's going to move the spine. So that when you're ready to inhale, you're going to tip the tailbone up, you're going to lift your gaze looking forward, and you're going to sink your belly down towards the ground, creating this arch in the low back. And then when you're ready to exhale, you're going to round the spine, You're going to look between your knees. Inhale when you're ready. Lift the head and the tailbone. Exhale when you're ready. Look between your knees. Go ahead and move back and forth at your own pace. With your next inhalation, you're going to inhale. You're going to bring yourself back into table position. And you're going to rock your hips side to side. Just bringing some of that movement in. And you can make this a little bigger, a little more silly if you want. How can you bring some wiggles into this movement? And then with your next inhalation, can you go ahead and bring yourself back into a still table? And in any way that works for you, can you start to make your way to lie down on the ground? Our last movement that we're going to do is called bridge pose. So you're going to lie on your back, but you're going to keep your feet in a standing position so the knees are pointed to the sky. Walk the shoulder blades underneath the body and bring your hands down by your sides. With your inhalation, you're going to lift your hips up to the sky, and when you're ready to exhale, exhale, lower your back all the way down. Inhale when you're ready, lift up. Exhale when you're ready, lower down. Go ahead and lift and lower a few more times at your own pace. See what that feels like in the low back. And then the next time that you lift up, can you lift up and hold? And as you push down into the feet, you might interlace your fingers behind you. How could you lift your hips up just a little higher? A few more breaths here. Keep pushing down into the shoulders, into the feet, still breathing. And then with your next exhalation, release your hands, lower your tailbone all the way down, straighten your legs, and relax. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale with a sigh. And let all that go. That's all I have time for today. Thank you for joining me for your yoga practice, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye, everybody.